Well, we meet again. Just like every week. The question is, how popular are we going to be this week? Let me get you in a different spot. Little adjustment. Yep. Okay. Got a new rearranged setup here. So we know where I'm looking. Okay. Ask me anything. I'm going to do the reclined view today. See how that goes. Maybe that's going to attract more viewers. Maybe not. It'll be more relaxed. It's going to feel like, oh, this is so much more approachable. Leaning back in the chair. Yeah. Well, that's a guy question. So I've been talking about the weekend was good, sir. Was able to most of the time turn my brain off from work, which was the intent. So that's a good thing. Most of the time, didn't get to zero, but that's all right. Improvement. So I'm just going to brainstorm on things to change. Obviously, the first thing is time. I got some feedback from a customer that the time, kind of start there first. Um, but my time, like this time, is intentional because it gives opportunity for West Coast, gives opportunity for most of Western Europe to be able to tune in during the workday. So that's a challenge. I'm not sure which way to move it. Second, I've got some more ideas on how to just present it more effectively and more clearly. Like today, I just went live. Pretty busy week with new customer, so I just got behind. And then like didn't get the event out there for people to see it and advertise it like I could or should have. So that's like easy stuff that I need to be doing that I'm not. I had another good one over the weekend. I've tried asking for questions up front so people don't feel like they have to jump in front. Hello, David. They have to jump in front of the whole internet and ask questions because for some people that's very daunting. My customer in Europe said the challenge for them is that they had to watch it in the background and just listen to it. So asking questions is kind of hard. Um, so people are finding value. It's just I've got to find a way to deliver it more effectively to all of you. That's step numero uno. Is how do I solve that? No answer yet, but I've got to change something. So if I show up next week with the same daggone thing, Stephen and David, just like hammer me in chat. Yeah, I've tried the topic thing. Yeah. Again, I think I can do better with that. I started doing a better job presenting this event on my website because I realized there was nothing there. So, yeah. Yeah, so I did dig deeper. There was a second post on LinkedIn. I don't know if you saw that, where the reality of the agile coaching world is that it is mostly middle to late aged white men. So was that depiction accurate? One would probably say yes. So there's a diversity issue that we have to address. So a buddy and I chatted, and one of the things that he said, well, let's try a different role that we expect to be more diverse. So we just did software engineering. Just forget, take agile out of it, just software engineering. It came back with effectively the same result, just slightly younger. There was more hair. uh, so there was zero diversity there. Then I redid it, and I specifically gave the AI a requirement of adding or of ensuring diversity is represented in the images. And the only diversity that it created was hair color. So it was still effectively the same people. Ooh, look at this. Software promotion. It's like they're reading my mind. It's a bot that is just like, I heard you talking about not getting the viewership you'd like. So I'm gonna send this. It's the magic of the internet. Always on, always listening. One thing that I have worked on as a bit of news is I have a buddy who created, what is it, bird feed? Yeah, birdfeed.ai. And he was launching it last week, knowing that I'm a content creator, asked me to just give it a shout. But more importantly, test it out. So I uploaded a bunch of episodes, and what it does is it listens to all of those episodes and then spits out tweets that it believes would be effective at actually creating engagement, which was cool. So that got the old mind rolling. And something Bob and I have been trying to do is do a better job of presenting all of the historical talks we've had, given that there's 245 of them. Uh, there's weeks, like literal weeks of audio that you could listen to, but no one's really going to do that. Interesting, Mr. Kellogg. Yes, David. The first national convention I ever spoke at, I was actually there with Bob. And not only did everybody look the same, being white, but they were also like, I was the youngest speaker there by decades, decades. And that is really an issue with the speaking industry, especially at some of the mainstream conferences out there. You have to be more established for that to make sense. And what I mean by that is, okay, you get a free ticket to the conference because you're a speaker, but that's it. You have to get there, usually flying. You have to pay for your room and food and all of that. So you have to have built up a customer base where that is viable and makes sense. When I first launched Kazi, because that was kind of what people did, that's what Bob did. I started doing that. I started just speaking at every conference, and the argument is, oh, you end up with leads, and yeah, but not enough where it monetarily made sense. So I have a fundamental belief that the conference industry is broken because of that, and I've had various ideas on how to fix it, but I've had various ideas on how to fix a lot of things. So trying to focus, trying. Yep. You have to build cred so that the group of people that decides who's speaking thinks you're worth to put in front of people, thinks you have enough clout that they're willing to put you on their like speaker list. And people might say, like, oh, I know that person, I'm gonna go. Yeah, that's a good point, Steven, about having another like side hustle that you're selling. Yeah, I don't know. It's something there's busted. Well, the challenge is that it's busted because the generators, whoa, well, Mr. Paladin, he is here. Yeah, I've had really good topics that I thought were pretty exciting to discuss. One of the challenge that I've seen, actually the challenge, is that I've had some really advanced topics that made a ton of sense and I felt like could help a lot of people. But that's not who the conference industry caters to. They are catering more to the entry level masses. So at these agile conferences, there was so much that to me felt like basics that I never even would have thought that it was something that should be presented or discussed. So I looked at how do I more entry levelify my my speaking topics, and well, I could do that. I just didn't have any passion around it, so I just bailed on it. I see. I wish we hadn't started talking about this because now I'm going to get antsy and I'm going to try and build something. Hey, thanks for hanging out, David. Yeah, I had a thought. Yeah, and yeah, yeah, that's a fantastic idea, Mr. Kellogg. Yeah, I like that. It was totally free. Well, Mr. Ripley, we're talking about lack of diversity and lack of diversity in both speakers and topics at the national conventions, and they are certainly marketing to the more entry level folks. Like I have, and I think David here mentioned that he had some talks that were rejected just because it didn't apply to enough of the audience. Uh, I've had the same thing with some of the talks where it was a great next level talk, but there weren't going to be enough people that would show up to my talk to make that happen. Okay, that's interesting, Ryan. Was it a next level talk or was it, I don't know what? Did they hear about your view on story points and they decided excommunicado? I don't really know what that means. I just know that the John Wick movie's out and they say that when he gets kicked out. Yeah, that's crazy. So there's zero reason. Yeah, advanced subject. There's zero reason we couldn't host something on this platform, get advanced speakers, have them show up, present. We can moderate the chat, handle that. It's free, aside from our time. What I wanted to do in the past was hold it on Twitch. I wanted to hold it on Twitch and have people donate, effectively tip the speaker, so that we keep track of when the tips came in, and all the money that was tipped to the channel while that speaker was speaking goes directly to them. So that way speakers could actually earn something aside from a free ticket to a conference that they have to fly to and pay for rooms and food at. Oh, sure. That sounds good. Yeah, Ryan, let's see if we can, across our two brands, see if we can come up with something that makes sense. Uh-oh. Beware. Daughter's here. Dog. Probably going to get a little loud. Yeah. For a while, I owned a 6-pack conference where your only entry fee was a 6-pack of beer. And then we kept those all in a fridge. And when the conference is over, just a one day thing, you could go in and grab a beer. So it cost you a pack of beer. That's it. Oh yeah, the Agile Moose would totally be in on it. There's the daughter. Well, at least she's sitting for you reasonably, not jumping on you. That's progress. I know she does that. She got excited to see you. Yeah, but it's okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think the Moose, Mr. Ripley, and I can probably make something happen. Yeah, I like that. Will do, Mr. Kellogg. Will do. You guys will certainly be one of the groups of people to know first. All right, so I've yapped at people for way too long here. 18 minutes or so. If there are any questions, feel free to fire them away. Brian, I do have a counterpoint to your story points are trash. I did a little mini one where I think Agile metrics are trash. Not trash, actually I call them dumb. Because I can't think of a metric that fundamentally changed the way I viewed a team's performance and how they should change the way they operate. And I see so many. This was driven by, the mail. Okay. Yeah, the Unreal. It's our whole world is changing right in front of our eyes. There's some amazing stuff. Exactly, Ryan. That's exactly what I'm pushing for, because so many people get wrapped around Agile metrics. As I've looked for customers and things like that, there's no problem. Fire away. There's all these job postings, and so many of them require a knowledge and an understanding of how to apply Agile metrics. What does that even mean? My argument is it's another industry of products that have created themselves to support Agile leaders that don't really know what they're doing. So they try and give them a silver bullet of, look at all of our numbers, it'll tell you what to do. When in reality, I don't believe there are any numbers that can really do that. It doesn't mean I think you should throw away Agile metrics. I think there's things like flow and stuff like that that are really interesting for a team to look at and kind of say, Maybe there's this thing we didn't think about in the last retro that we should look at. But you kind of already know about those things. Yeah, meaningful value measurements. Dang on it. Yeah. I was just giving that whole lecture this morning about value and why we're here and what we do. That we're not here to ship code, we're here to ship value. So, yeah. I don't think I ever made it all the way around to my point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the only thing that I thought of, and it's super lagging, which is a thing, is NPS scores. And can you drive improvement there? But those are lagging, so people view those as devalued. Which I don't. It's just you have to be patient to get the answer. So, yeah. Ryan, something for you. I don't know if you jumped in yet, but I am working. I'm writing some code with OpenAI on consuming all of our episodes and wrapping those up into blog posts, maybe even a book, and just having Chat GPT do most of that work for me. So if that's something you want to look at with all the content that you have, let me know, because that's my new passion project because it's fun. I get to write code. Amen. Lazy is good. Lazy is good. So yeah, as I progress with that, I'll let you know. I'll probably open source it, right? Like there's no. Be interesting to see how other people would tweak the prompts and things like that. So yeah, that's the thing. Okay, folks. It's good hanging out with you. Seeing Mr. Black Paladin. Good to have you back. It's actual, it's factual. I forget the rest of the song lyric. Yeah. All right, everyone. Unless there's any last minute questions, I bid farewell until next week, where there will be a change, or I expect all of you to just flame the crap out of me in chat. So I'm ready. I'm ready. Bring it on. That means I got to bring my slightly better than today game next week. I'll see you. Take care. Thanks to everybody for popping in. Ryan and David and Steven, of course, and the Paladin, aka Colton. Yeah. All right, everyone. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of the week.